Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I brought in this beech forest. It's in a dog bed, one of them plastic dog beds. They're high at the back and then they dish down, and I just cut around it. They make ideal training bed pots for forests. You can cut them as deep as you want. It already has drainage holes in the bottom, so they're quite handy for that job. This forest, the taller ones in the middle are copper beech, and the rest of them are just ordinary beech. I got them all a few years ago now. I think it's been in this about maybe 3 years. I just put them in as bare root stock. They were just bare rooted, so I just stuck them all in here. This year I haven't done anything with them really. The only thing I did was maybe a hedge pruning on them, just to keep them a little bit in shape for over the growing season, so that they didn't completely cover the whole bench. Yeah, so other than that, I've done nothing with them this year. Just let them grow and let them. I'll possibly repot it in the spring, maybe separate the trees a bit. Few of them maybe need straightening, or maybe take out a few of the funny looking ones. I basically just put them all in here on the chance that, on the understanding to myself that one day I'll redo a forest with them. I'll just let them grow in here. Let's move forward with it. Not even sure which is the front. I'm kind of presuming I had this as the front, because I have the few little trees at the back here. But I have little trees here too, so I don't know. And did have a couple that died. There was 21 trees in this, there's now 19. There was this one and this one. So I just chopped them off. Kind of chewed it a bit, so it was a bit like, a beaver had chewed them, or somebody come and chop the tree down. And this one the same, just chopped down. But this one actually is, as you see, sprouted. So it wasn't actually dead. Okay, so I'm going to go through the forest, giving it a bit of a cleaning up, bit of a pruning. The forest floor, it's kind of a mixture of moss and weeds, grass and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to do much with it, because if I am going to be repotting it in the spring, I'm probably running truly bedded in now. I might just clear around each tree, just stop the moss growing up the trunks and stuff, but the rest of it, I don't know how matted that's going to be to get clean off. Maybe we'll have a look at it, we'll see. Okay, so I'll bring the camera in a bit and we'll get started. Now, I don't know, my best to start on the outside and work my way up. I'll start at the top, work my way down. Maybe I'm best to start the outside ones, the smaller ones, cut them back kind of as tight, and then work my way up. So I'll start with this tree here. So I'm going to go through every tree and clean off any dead stubs, and I'm going to reduce it back where it needs to be. This forest will be sprayed then with a winter spray, just to protect it from bugs and stuff over the winter. This whole branch here is dead, so I'll take that whole branch off. Top up here is dead, so I'll take that out. And like that, I'm just going to go through. Now, I think with this tree, I think it's just getting a bit tall. I think I'm going to reduce it back and leave this piece here as the apex. So I'm just going to chop it back here, leave a bit for dieback. And we'll use this as the apex. This branch we can probably take back as well. And I think that's about it for that one. I have this branch which is kind of crossing into this one over here, but I kind of want this branch to thicken up, so I'll just let it come through there. It's okay, it's not big, that much of a deal. I've got a small little one here, Again, not much really I can do with that. We can maybe reduce this one back a little bit so it's not interfering with it. Probably use the scissors actually for this. Again, we'll clean off any dead stubs and stuff. Now, height wise for this guy, I think we'll reduce it back to maybe here. And I think this branch here could be reduced right back, it's a bit heavy. So we'll take that one back. And we've a couple coming out of the same place here, so we'll take one of them off. Okay, so that looks to be it for that guy. That branch is dead, so we'll take that one off. I lost a few branches on them because of just letting it overgrow. They got shaded out. Okay, so we'll go on to this one here. Again, we'll clear off any dead stubs. There. And reduce this one back. We'll take that one off altogether there. Just take the top off that one. Dead stub there. Just reduce that one back. And this one can be reduced. It's just a matter of working around each tree, taking off what you don't want. Now, with that for a back tree. This one I think here, that one left is still a bit tall. I'm going to take that one off another bit. I'm going to take it down to this one, so this is the apex. And this one here, I think we can reduce back as well. Take it back to here for now. There's a couple of buds there on the trunk which we can get growing as the apex. Like I said, a lot of these trees may end up coming out to this if I do a repot. I might repot it and just put a few less, make a bit more space for them to grow because they're a bit congested, which is making it hard for them to grow. They're kind of fighting for light, which is making them grow in kind of some funny shapes. Well, this one back here is a little twisty kind of one. I've got this long bit here with nothing on it, so I'm going to take that whole bit off. Now we'll go to this big one here. Not sure if that whole branch is dead. Yeah, it's dead right back there. Reduce it back to here. I'm coming up near the top now. You can see this one, just raise it up a bit. So I'm looking at this one here. You can see where it was chopped originally. It's got a lot of thickness going on up here. So I'm debating whether to reduce it right back. It has got a lot of dead stubs on it. That bunch is dead. Has very little on it, this tree, until it comes up here. That's why I'm kind of reluctant to take too much off the top, or you'll end up with nothing at all. Maybe I can reduce the vigour out of this branch. maybe slow it down a bit. That might just help a bit. We'll just reduce this one back a bit, and then we'll reduce it up here. I think I'll take that whole top off. A bit dead in there. And take that off. I'll go with that branch there. This one I can take back. Again, we have another one on here. The pure forest trees, these, all the inside branches have died off. All of them on them from the lack of light. That's why you really need to put maybe less trees in and give them all their own space. We don't want this all the way over here, so I'll take it back up here and see can we get something growing up there. This one. Reduce some branches back a bit. It's kind of coming around this one, but this one here, again, very little on it. That's still dead in there. Really growing like forest trees. All the growth is on the top. It was filled out like a big, like it looked well in the summer. The two colours, and it was really full. As you can see, it's all the growth is at the top and on the outside, nothing on the inside. So, as individual trees now, probably wouldn't be that great. So we've got to keep working on them and using them as a forest, as one tree. And this one I'm going to reduce right back as well to here. This front tree. So again, clean off the stubs, the dead stubs. That one back a little bit. Maybe take these back a bit as well. Another dead stub. Now this tree here is a bit tall. I need to reduce this one right back more. I'll take it right back to there. And I'll reduce this branch right back. So we kind of get the apex in and the asymmetrical in. So we want it kind of like that if we can. Just trying to decide which one we want to keep. So I think we'll keep this as our tallest one. So I'll reduce this one back. First thing I'll do is decide on the height for this one. We'll go with here. So we want this one, I reckon, back here. Just clean out the stubs. That's okay. We'll take off that one. So one just below it there. This one's kind of interfering with this branch. We'll take that one off as well. Grow this one. Now this branch here is take the tip off the end bud just to try and reduce the vigour in it. Take that one out. Okay, this branch here is coming from this one back here. It's kind of turning funny, so I'll take that one out. Like I said, it's kind of, you got to look at it as one tree if you can, rather than as a bunch of trees, because you're not going to be able to, when they're this close, there's no way you're going to get individual space with them. So I'm just trying to prune it as one kind of tree, and I'm trying to picture what it's going to be like when it's full of foliage again. So you got to kind of work with that in mind. This branch here is coming from that back tree. This whole branch there is dead, so we take that one out. So these trees here, I'll just bring that down a bit now. You have this one here and this one are kind of interfering with each other, but again I'm going to have to kind of leave them because I can't really take everything off that's crossing each other, or so I've nothing left. Top off that one just to bring it back into the profile. Okay, so I'm looking at it now. Stand back and have a look at it and see how it's looking. I'm thinking this looks more like the front to me, and with the trees behind being smaller, and it kind of looks like it dips back into the background. Small tree back here, we could maybe, I haven't cleaned that one off at all yet. And like I said, we do have a lot of crossing branches, but that's what happens in forests. You have to live with that. Well, for this forest anyway, like here, you know, unless they chop the whole top of that tree off, which will leave it way too short, which will be shaded out and end up dying, I've got to leave it coming up through the top or take off that whole branch. But that branch fills out the gap of this tree, which is bare. Okay, so I think the trees don't look too bad now. Again, before the spring we'll give it another check over. Might be a few more branches that have died off and stuff over the winter. And what I'll do now is I'll just go in like that, just clean out around the trunks of the trees. camera in a bit so you can see a bit better. So like this one here, got a lot of moss growing up the tree. So I'm trying to scrape away all the weeds and moss from the base of it. I don't know how hard this would be, probably pretty impossible to repot. I'd say the roots now at this stage are going from that tree out to that side of the pot and vice versa, and they're tangling in amongst everything in between. So there's going to be a lot of untangling to be done, or I may just take it all out and again work on it like I'm working on one tree. Just use the whole root ball as one tree. Just gonna brush and just clean off all the moss. Okay, so like that, I'll go around to all of them and then we'll come back and have a look. Okay, so we're getting there now. You see, when they're done, just these two left. So like that, I'm just going in, pulling away the moss and the weeds from around each trunk. Just to keep the trunks drier and cleaner for the winter. Otherwise they'll end up getting covered in moss and start rotting away at your bark and stuff. So if you are new to it on site and you want to do a forest, I recommend like that. Good way to do one, a cheap and easy way to do one, get you started off, is you can buy things like these beech or field maples, hornbeams, things like that. They sell them for hedging, and you buy like a bunch of them, all bare rooted, and they're reasonably cheap, only a few quid for the bunch. Out to the lot then, when you get them home, it's normally, could be 10, 15, something like that in them. Maybe pick one or two that look half decent. That's what I do, and put them either into some good pots or some into the ground, let them grow on. I have a couple in the ground which I put in the same time as these, and even that's the biggest one in this. Is probably the ones in the ground probably 3 times bigger than that now. It's thicker. So I just bought them. I brought them home. Buried, like I said. I just chopped them right down in half. Nearly every one of them got chopped in half, and then I just planted them into, again like that, dog bed. You pick these up everywhere. People, even second-hand ones, I get them in car boot sales, and I just they have the sides and then there's like a gap in the middle that the dog can go into. They're plastic, so they last forever. They already have feet on them, drainage holes in them, so they're kind of perfect. They're a good thickness that you can cut them down to all the way around. See where this was where the thing came up on the other side. So I just cut it all the same height. So you pick them up. I always, whenever I go to car boot sales, I always keep my eyes open for these. So I've got huge ones down to smaller ones, and they're only a couple of quid. It doesn't matter if they're second hand. So you can get that for a couple of quid. You get a bunch of these trees like this, beech trees or whatever, bare rooted, and just, you don't even need proper soil. Use old soil, use garden soil, potting compost, grit mixed up or something, and just stick them in. and work away on it. Just build your forest from that. You don't have to start with all great individual trees. You know, build your forest and build your trees to grow into each other as a forest like this. You can always take the trees out, you know, add more trees in if you want to. You can change the landscape. You could do a higher side and a lower side, things like that. But these were literally just plunked into this, spread around. Started with, divided them up, put the thicker, bigger ones in the middle, and then just worked my way out, putting the smaller and shorter ones to the sides, and then the thinner ones to the back to create some depth. And just try and make it, if possible, and there's a lot of trees in this, but try not to have them in rows. You know, you want to be able to, if you can, from the front see every tree. You know, you don't want to have them so that they're all kind of in lines. So when you're planting them, just kind of look and see if you can just slightly see the ones behind on either side and stuff. And yeah, just plant them in it and let them grow, and just keep, if you want to just keep hedge pruning them for the first couple of years, getting them into shape and then working on them. Because when you get them at the start, sometimes they're quite long and all the growth is at the top. So when you chop them off, you've just ended up with sticks. Yeah, and just do that. You can build a forest for pretty cheap that way. And it just helps hone your skills in creating forests and working on them and dealing with them, because it's a bit different dealing with a forest to a single tree. You get, like, especially beech, they can get quite they're quite prone to mildew, and when you have a forest there's a lot of moisture trapped in and stuff, so you got to kind of deal with that. Yeah, but it's a good way to learn. So that'll do for this video, I think. We'll put this one back on the bench. Like I said, I'll go over it again to start the spring, just double checking if I need to trim anything else off or whatever. And like I said, I will give it a spraying now for the winter, try and keep any bugs and stuff out of it. Okay, so as always guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.